gentlemen, welcome on in to the PSP Podcast, featuring your friendly host, Percussive 173. Let's freaking go! I downed him! Oh, I got it! 508 meters! I'm pushing everything right now. Against the Lockman. Dude, this Lockman is so good! Oh my god, I'm disgusting! So what do you think about that play, huh? What were your thoughts?
Not very smart, man. Not very smart, man.
It happens, man. Hey, well, come back. We'll try it again, okay?
Very smart, man.
It happens. Shit. I guess I'm just gonna shit on him. He's dead. Did I just ace? I just ace. Let's go.
Just take a funky jazz with him.
Easy triple. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to have you be a part of the PSP Podcast. And I'm your friendly host, Percussive 173, and let's have a freaking party. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. My name is Percussive 173, and I would like to welcome everybody into the PSP Podcast. It is a pleasure to have everybody here, and just so you guys know, PSP stands for Perk Spreads Positivity, and it's all about sharing the good vibes in any way that I know how. On this podcast, my aim is to help educate people on how to thrive as content creators. And to achieve that, I'm going to bring in the best of the best. And I do that, I'm going to showcase their diverse styles of content and maybe inspire some of you guys to be able to incorporate that into your own style of work. So today, we're diving into the world of Infectious Energy. Now, shout out to Twisted Tia. She was supposed to be the original guest star here, but I know she's been extremely busy. But today we're going to be diving into the world of Infectious Energy with none other than SamanthaPlz. And Samantha is amazing because her enthusiasm and creativity that captivates everybody. Like, she is exciting. She's a pleasure to have on the podcast, and she is amazing. And her magnetic presence is absolutely incredible. And she's just ridiculously intelligent, and like you could see it in her style of growth, and it's just honestly like a pleasure to have her on. So, hi Samantha, how are you? How we doing?
Cool. Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let me see. Do I have you? I do have you showcased. That's awesome. Well, welcome on in. As you know, I'm Perk. So for those of you guys in my stream that don't know anything about you, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself? Did I cut out?
Yes, you did. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So let me take myself off push to talk since it's broken.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to mess with my push to talk too.
See, you know, like one of the things that they don't even talk about in regards to content creators is how many technical difficulties you have as a content creator. And it's
No
kind of
kidding.
funny, but
No
I mean,
kidding.
even as seasoned and however long you've been doing it, like I've been doing it for over 2 years, like I still run into technical difficulties in any way I can.
Yep.
But so why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Thank you. So
Of course.
again, really just excited to be here. Honored that you would ask me and invite me to be here. So my name is Samantha. I have been streaming now for 2 years. It's actually 2 years, I think the end of this month. I grew up playing video games. I loved I grew up on Halo and Fable. Actually, Fable is like the first game I ever played that like made me want to get an Xbox. And so played Halo, played Fable a lot, and so I started streaming and just kind of have been along for a ride, and I love it because it's always a learning opportunity. I'm always learning something different, something new, whether it's around technical stuff or even how to like work with people, how people operate, the best type of like how to create the best type of environment and things like that. So yeah, that's really why I enjoy streaming.
Streaming is a lot of fun, and like you bring up a really cool point in regards to like the technology and stuff around it, and like I'm learning new stuff in regards to streaming technologies every single day. Like I just downloaded Lumia, and Lumia is like kind of life changing in the learning aspect of it, and like I'm still kind of figuring out how things work in regards to their chat box integration, and like there's so many diverse styles of like stream tools that you can use. So like it just kind of like it's interesting. It's wild. So
Yep.
You've been streaming for 2 years?
Yep.
When did you start, out of curiosity?
April of 22. April of 22 was like technically my first streams on Twitch. I streamed from an Xbox. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know if I wanted to stream or anything like that. But I had this is so dumb. People ask, like, it's just not really a great reason to start streaming. But so prior to this, I wanted to stream. I really was, you know, but I was in a very limiting relationship where I wasn't kind of allowed to do a lot of those things, or like this idea was kind of pooped on. So I didn't do it. And then that year in 2022, I owed on my taxes. And I was doing my taxes, and my tax guy's like, do you have any hobbies? And I was like, well, I dance and I like to play video games. And he was like, okay, you have to be having a hobby that makes you money. And so he's like, video games, you can stream and you can make money from that. And then you can write things off so you don't owe on your taxes again next year. So that's why I searched. So that was that April. And then I had my tax appointment, and then I bought my PC, I think like a couple days after I talked to him, and that was in May. So I really like hit the ground running in May with a PC, like just kind of went balls to the wall.
And that's really interesting because the way I started streaming was completely different. Like the way that I started streaming is I started actually as a viewer. Back in COVID started. I got the first person that I ever watched. Her name was Exo Marie Angel OX. Amazing Call of Duty sniper. And I actually found her from TikTok because I was on TikTok doing a different style of content, which I'm not going to talk about. But anyways, I started looking into Call of Duty creation because I loved Call of Duty. And Marie was an incredible sniper. So she was the first stream that I ever walked into. And through that, I found another Call of Duty content creator by the name of Bad Bear Gamer. And Bad Bear, his energy, enthusiasm, and he actually kind of looked like me before I kind of grew physically. It was I'm like, oh my goodness, he's doing this and he's incredible and his enthusiasm is great and his energy is phenomenal and it's literally just like mine and I could do it too. And then I was introduced to the Only Shady. So all three of these people, and as I was watching their different styles of content, the way that they were doing things and the way that they were creating things, and with my love for Call of Duty as like a player and watching Call of Duty streamers as like a viewer, that's kind of where I started. And so I started as a viewer and then decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and change things around and I'm going to stream, but I'm not going to tell Bear or Shady or Marie that I am a streamer, because if I told myself that if I do this, I want to make it as organic as humanly possible.
Okay.
So because I'm weird and I always take the most difficult possible route.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of where I started as a streamer.
So did you ever reconnect with them and let them like Like,
Oh.
how did that? What happened there?
Oh, absolutely. So Shady and I talk all the time. I actually am one of the creators of his Discord, and Bear and I actually still talk on occasion. And Marie and I do not talk as much. I actually haven't been able to be in her streams because I started having to go into the office every single day. And during COVID, she used to be able to stream during the day, and I used to be able to work from home and watch her during the day. So but Shady knows I stream. Shady and Bad Bear were actually the first two creators I had on the PSP podcast. They were on episode 1, which I thought was amazing.
Cool. Yeah,
But yeah, so
that is really cool.
I was able to reconnect with them. They know that I stream. Actually, Habibi Dragon is from the Habibi family, which is Shady's family, and he's hanging out in Kick Chat right now. So yeah, it's just like it's weird because I notice that as you grow as a streamer, it's this weird conglomeration of so many different streamers' chats, as well as the people that find you through your content that you post.
Yep. Yeah. So you bring up a really interesting point. I never, before I started streaming, I never watched streams. My little brother would always watch streams, and I thought it was like kind of the weirdest thing. I was like, why don't you just play the game? Like, why are you watching it? And I get it now, but at the time, he'd explain it like, because I just spent like 10 hours playing this game. I really like the game, but I'm kind of burnt. Like, I want to watch someone else play it.
Right.
And so, but I never really had this like passion for, if I wasn't gaming myself, then I probably just wasn't going to go watch someone. Like I never really, like, I didn't see the connection there. Now, and like the strong like draw to, now there's so many things that I get about streaming, but so I started streaming. I hadn't really ever even watched a stream. Like the first streamers I really watched were Apex competitive streamers.
Those people are nuts. They're so good. They're so good.
But they stream to show their gameplay, and like it's very like, we have our camera on to prove that we're not cheating kind of thing. Like, that's the only reason. Now what I do, and like this obviously is completely different from that. And that was kind of a little hurdle I had to go over as well, is like figuring out what I could do on stream, what I wanted to do, and just kind of like expanding my horizons there. But I think it's probably better to start as a viewer and absorb a lot of content before you jump right in.
And it's actually really interesting to talk about something like that, because like when you actually start as a viewer, you can use the people that you kind of, I don't want to say idolize. Idolizing is a bad word, but the people that you watch and like you adore and that like you give your time and energy to, you can utilize their styles of content and kind of shape it into your own. Like, and you're right. I was kind of one of those streamers like in the Call of Duty realm where I'm so good at the game that if I wanted to, like, I could have a 6.0 KD, and like I could have like a controller camera if I needed to. But like my thing is like, I purposely try to make the game more difficult for myself because it is such like an interesting, like weird game. But that's me being a COD streamer, and that's like, it's being a Call of Duty streamer and like in yourself being a variety streamer. It's like two different ends of the puzzle. And like one thing that I love about watching your streams is like the energy that you put forth, because like in like watching your streams as well as like, so you play video games and like you dance and you sing and you have fun, and like recently you picked up one of those little camera changing sticks, and it really completely developed your entire content. And it's really cool to watch.
Thank you. And I did go through this phase where I felt really stuck because I didn't know. I mean, I was kind of limited. I just felt very limited. Like I want to get up and move. I love playing video games, but I also I was a dancer. Like I've been a dancer my whole life. I was on a competitive dance team before up until last year when I moved. And so that really, honestly, when I quit dancing competitively is when I was like, I need another outlet and I have to have, I'm streaming. Like I love streaming. How do I like combine both? And that's, I remember just like one stream, I was like, I'm just gonna say fuck it. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna swear.
You're fine. It's 18 plus here.
Okay. I was like, I'm just gonna say fuck it. I'm not gonna sit down this stream. Because I usually,
Mhm.
I would like I'd sit and then I would get up and kind of move and then I would sit down again. And I was kind of just all over the place. And I mean, I still am, but uh it was, yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm not gonna feel the pressure. People are gonna come in and be like, what are you doing today? Or what game are we playing? Things like that. And like I would always feel kind of, or when there was like a down moment, there was a lull, I'd be like, okay, let's play a game just to like keep people entertained. But
That's kind of where I'm at. It's like I'll
yeah,
just throw on a random game to keep people entertained. Like, yeah. But anyways, continue.
no, you're good. But it's like it was definitely difficult, very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And I still remember that night like was one of the funnest nights I've ever had streaming, and it was like just something clicked and was like I can do whatever I want and I can still have fun.
So I actually found you through somebody from Shady's stream. It was one of the mods. So Mathayu, I actually found you
Yeah.
through. I found you through a tweet of his, and he shouted you out and saying that you were an amazing person. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go check it out because I'm always looking to watch new people, different people. And like the first thing that I noticed is you were dancing around in a lobster costume, and I'm like, this is amazing. And then
I love that.
because I've noticed, so I don't want to talk like about like where SamanthaPlz came from, but I mean like the dancing lobsters, it makes sense. So I mean, if you want to tell everybody about that and like where that came from.
Yeah. So I mean the origin of SamanthaPlz honestly was, I think I was in 8th grade. Me and my friend were trying to figure out fun usernames. And she just said Samantha. I think we're on MySpace, maybe
Oh,
maybe
MySpace.
Instagram.
That brings back memories.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I always remember like growing up, I was like, I never really had like a nickname or like there's not really like anything cool you can do with like Samantha or, but yeah, she said Samantha please. And that was like I was like 14. And so it just stuck. Like everything, all of my usernames from that point forward were Samantha please. And I loved that show growing up too. The Amanda Show.
It's such a good show.
So funny, and like just so random and contagious, infectious energy. Yeah, so it's kind of cool to
And it emulates with your current stream culture too, and like with who you are, and that's amazing.
Exactly, and that's it. Like clicked. That was another defining moment where I was like, there was the Amanda Show, and then this is the Samantha Show. And then everything goes wrong on the Samantha Show. So this is the Samantha shit show. And yeah, and like that's again like the randomness and like just bring out the dancing lobsters. Like those skits were so funny and weird, and yeah,
It's just
I just
goofy.
wanted to embody that. Yeah.
It's just goofy and fun. And so one thing that I noticed in regards to like the Amanda Show is everything is random but at the same time planned, and that's what I see in your streams. Everything is random and at the same time planned, like whether it be when you're playing COD and like we're running around and I'm doing stupid funny shit and like you're doing stupid funny shit and I'm like, wait, where'd my gun go? And you're like, oh my god, I dropped it.
Oh yeah.
Or like even like when you're like dancing around and doing like everything that you do, it's just really fun to watch. So extended introduction, I'll say if you guys aren't following Samantha, you damn well should, because it's really fun to see. But
I appreciate that.
No, of course. So now that people know a little bit about you, I kind of want to bring the concept of goals into this before we delve into all the talk about infectious enthusiasm and stuff like that. So everybody's told me that everybody's streaming goals are different. So what do you define your goal as a streamer or content creator?
My current goal, every day, every time before I go live, this is silly. So
Mm-hmm.
every time I go live, like my goal literally is I just want to make someone happy. Like that sounds so cliche and like so dumb. I'm sure everybody says that, but I put on like a light eyeliner like on the insides of my eyelids,
Mm-hmm.
and to like get the liner to where I can like do that, I have to like mark it on my hand first. So I always have this like I don't have it today actually, but I usually have this white line or like a white dot on my hand, and every time I do that when I'm warming my eyeliner up, it's like one of the last things I do. I think to myself, I'm gonna make someone happy today. And when I see that, like when I'm streaming, it kind of like it's like just a quick reminder of like that is your only goal. You're only here to make people happy and to like have fun. Um, and so yeah, that kind of helps me like stay on track. But it's so easy to get lost in a lot of these like numbers,
Yes.
um, and thinking like numbers define you, and they don't. Um, and so and that yeah, it used to be like my goal was like to grow. That was it. That was my goal. My goal was to grow. I want as many people to join my stream as possible today. And like that's about me. Like that's all just me. Like that's kind of selfish. And these people, like you guys are giving me your time, and all I'm just worried about growing. So now my goal is to just make people happy. And I've thought about, setting goals for like the creator incentive program, um and it's difficult. Goals are really difficult for me because it sucks when you don't meet them.
Right. And
And
then you get depressed and you think you're doing something wrong, even though you're not.
yeah, right. So my goal last year, and you'll say it, I say it in my video, like my BRB video all the time, is like my goal
Mm-hmm.
last year was to become a full-time content creator. I didn't meet that goal. But I didn't meet that goal because of different varying factors in my life that I didn't know were going to happen. Um, and now if I had just sat and wallowed in that, like I didn't do it. I didn't become a full-time content creator last year. So like I suck. What did I do wrong? And yeah, I'm never going to be able to do this kind of thing. Why even set that goal for myself? No, I've got time. Like we've all got time to meet these goals, and I think putting a time limit on those goals really sets you back.
And that's huge too, because one thing that I tell people with my goal as a streamer, my goal is to make at least one person smile a day. That's the biggest reason why in this past week I took a complete step back. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go live and make somebody happy. I was just going to sit there, look at a screen, and yell at the fact that I'm dying in COD.
Yeah.
So, and that's not fun. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to make people smile every single day. And
Yeah.
and it's not because like anybody who's been in the band fam can tell you that I just like to make Call of Duty as goofy as humanly possible. Whether it be through proximity chat, whether it be through me purposely breaking my legs, or whether it me doing things that aren't supposed to be done in a game. Like stare at a hookah and then smoke a hookah in real life right here. And then
Yeah.
look at my friends who are also playing the game, and I'm like, you guys check out stream. I'm smoking a hookah in game and in real life. Yeah. You know.
Like, that's just super lighthearted stuff.
Exactly. So my goal as a content creator is to make people smile. And I've learned that if you want to grow, that you have to do something that is unique and entertaining within the industry. So the person that I've noticed that has grown the absolute quickest in the COD space has been Dr. Chubbs. And his content is incredible because he's doing things within the game that makes him smile and that makes him happy. And it's one of the coolest things to watch. Him, Shady, Lucci, Bad Bear, all these people who like put themselves out there in a Call of Duty space. They're not just playing Call of Duty because they're good at the game, because they're damn good at the game and probably as good as Aiden or Biffle. but they're playing the game in order to just have fun and do something fun in a unique way. And like their definition of success is completely different than my definition of success. My definition of success is someone coming in and saying your content made me smile. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And that's when I say is successful, and that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
So like when
I
you and
agree.
I talked through this funk, like you reminded me, it's like you just got to do something that makes you happy. And when you're happy, your community will be happy because you're happy.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly it. And so going back to that moment last year, I want to say it was probably around like May or June time. So I'd been streaming for about a year. And I was so worried that my community wouldn't like the fact that I wasn't playing COD, that I wasn't playing games, that I was going to stand there and dance and be an idiot. And I was worried that like they weren't going to be, interested in that. But it really turns out they do, like they just want you to be happy as well, because if you're happy, they're happy.
Like the more that you sing, the more that you dance, the more that you smile, like you're like genuinely having fun.
Yeah.
Like even when things go wrong, you turn it into something funny, and that's what you have to learn as like a professional content creator and streamer. Like
Yeah.
you're never going to be I mean you in general, I mean like I guess I'm speaking to everybody who's aspiring to be a content creator. You're never going to be successful in your own mind if you're trying to be the best at a specific game, because the truth is there's always going to be somebody better. But if you can be the best in your own unique style in stuff that you do, whether it be in the game that you love or outside a game that you love, then that's what's going to cause you to grow and to get people to follow you. Like looking back a year ago from when I started Twitch, I actually think today is my 1 year streaming anniversary on Kick. So I don't know if
1 year.
I don't know if that's true. It might actually be May 2nd, but I'd have to validate it. But I didn't expect to have 400 people following me on Kick. Like 400 people is insanity for me. Like I'm just a fat 30-year-old who yells at COD. I say that because like I'm not downing myself. I've accepted that, and it's part of my personality. So
yeah, I agree. And yeah, it's wild that when you start putting yourself first and not competing with anybody else but yourself, it really does change the game.
Yes.
For yourself. And Snick Snacks is in my chat right now. She said, it's something you can apply to everyday life. And
exactly.
Yeah. It does. And, talking about goals and numbers and things like that, that can apply to so many areas of your life, whether it's career, health, friends, relationships. Like I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to achieve the goals that we don't actually end up even trying as hard as we could.
Exactly.
Or for as long as we could, because we didn't get that instant gratification, because we aren't instantly feeling better, or like we didn't instantly blow up overnight. Like,
see, I'm not trying to blow up. I'm not trying to be famous. That's going to be too much pressure. Like and a lot of people, and a topic on that, and a tangent on that is people continuously go to bigger streamers and ask for raids. I'll say this: if BBJS raided me at any point in time, I wouldn't be able to handle it. It's too many people. I can barely handle the 4 chats that I have as is. Your time will come when it's ready to come, when it's deserving to come, as you continue to grow and develop as a content creator.
Yes, that's actually something I saw. His name's Cody Riffs. He hasn't streamed for a bit, but he makes content, and he talked. That was one of the videos I saw really early on. Is he said, I got a huge raid and I was not prepared for it.
Was it from Sweet Tales?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, because they broke his chat with his the switching of his cameras.
Yes. Yeah. He just said, I wasn't prepared for it. And that was something I really kind of took to heart and was like, how am I best prepared for this? And kind of then you look at why. Why would someone host me?
Mm-hmm.
What can, and then what can I do to enhance that? Um, so yeah, if I'm just standing here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for someone to host me, like why would they do that?
Exactly. What's their
You know?
motivation?
Yeah. And then what's the motivation to watch? What's the most motivation for people to stick around? And um yeah, so you got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. And it's okay to realize maybe I'm not ready for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it doesn't come to me anytime soon, and like I can prepare. And and that, I think you can grow from that too.
Exactly. And growing from something like that and being ready and doing your own thing. It's like, for example, if on my stream currently, I have a tagline up, and I'm just gonna look to see exactly what it says. Because I'm paying attention to all three of my chats right now. Actually, technically, all
Yeah.
four of them. I'm just not actually responding to them because I'm in a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I see everybody typing, I see all the emotes, I see all the likes that are coming through, even on the Twitter app. I see all 10 of you there. Like I see everybody, I see everything. But I mean, like, there's times and a place for like me to have like the let's go get them energy, like goofy energy, and like bring like the attack, and then there's
Yeah.
like the podcast thing, like where I'm focused on like the interview and getting to know you and like asking questions. It's like there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for hosts. There's a time and a place for raids, and you'll do that when the time is right and when your energy is right for it.
Yeah.
And that's a good lead into the fact that like something that I think that you're known for, and the goal of the point of this podcast is your energy, your enthusiasm, your infectious energy, to the point where it brings people in and it makes people want to stay. Like, for example, 2 nights ago, I saw you, like, I've seen you from actually 10 viewers, and I've also seen you go as high as like 400 viewers.
Yeah.
So, like, people want to be in your chat because you make them smile. You have infectious energy, and it makes people happy and wanting to be there. And so, my question to you is, what inspired you to focus on that positivity and infectious energy to make it so vibrant?
Um, sorry, my dog's barking.
Hi, Cooper.
um, I don't. That's just like an interest. That's really, I don't know. It's really interesting. A lot of it came from realizing none of it matters. It doesn't matter. Like, I can be weird. I can be goofy. And like I have more fun that way. Like than being like reserved and like super worried about what I'm gonna say, or like if people are gonna like me, or if I'm gonna, it doesn't matter. So letting all of that go really took a lot of pressure off of me, to where I always feel like I have to be super energetic and like super goofy or silly. Like now I just am that way because I can be and like I want to be. Um Now there are times like I've yeah, there are times like where I don't feel like I can give it my best, or like my best
Mm-hmm.
energy. I've had a long day at work. Like there's shit going on. Like there's been times where it's like I'm supposed to be live. It's 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to be live at 7:30, and I'm just like,
It's like,
can't.
man.
I can't
Yep.
do it. And I know if I go live, I'm just gonna sit here like this, and that's like
And it's not going to
really
be
fun
fun.
for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I another thing I try to do. This is kind of dumb. Is like I'll think of like we said this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm hilarious. Like
You are.
I make myself laugh. I don't think if I don't make anybody else laugh, I make myself laugh. So I think of like funny stuff throughout the day, and I'll be like, oh, that might be kind of funny to talk about. And like I'll try to remember that. But yeah, I mean, that's really just kind of the best way that I maintain that energy. That and music. Music helps me a ton.
I just turn off the filter. I go completely unfiltered, and it's one of the funniest things. Like, I'll be talking in Call of Duty chat, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, it totally sounds like you have 3 nipples." I'm like, "Wait, why did I just say that?"
Yes,
Yeah,
you just let it go, and like, because it doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't matter. It's like, what are they gonna? It's like, it's gonna be out there on the internet for people to see. And at the same time, it's like your goal is to be out there and to make yourself different and to make yourself funny and to make yourself like goofy. And that energy is infectious, because when people are having a bad day, they come into your stream and they see you having a blast and you being funny and you thinking that you're funny because you are funny. It makes them smile and it brightens their day.
Yeah. And that's kind of something that I hope people leave my stream with feeling too, is it doesn't matter. Like, be weird. Be yourself, because it's
like, who actually gives a fuck, you know? It's like, be yourself.
Cares?
Yep.
Everybody is so worried about what they are thinking, what they think other people are thinking about them.
Yes.
So inherently, that is, I think, one of the most like conceited things that you can be thinking, because you're still thinking about yourself. You're thinking what other people are thinking about you. People aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves.
Exactly.
And so if you realize that, like, they're really not, like, they're not really thinking about you.
Being selfish is not going to help you grow. And that's a lot of things that I see, especially in the streaming place, and it causes drama. Like, a lot of people will go into the streaming place and they'll say like, well, yeah, this person said this about me because they're jealous of my numbers. Okay, who gives a shit about numbers?
Yeah.
Who cares about what they think? Because if you're focused on yourself, what can you do to improve? How can you be the best you that you can be? Well, when do you have the time to think about what Joe Smo over there is thinking, you know?
Exactly. And I try to tell folks too, is you gotta fly high. You have to fly so high. Like, get your head up there in the clouds and keep it up there. Worry about yourself, because when you're up in the clouds, it doesn't matter what all the little people on the ground are saying. It doesn't matter if they're all these problems and all these issues. And I'm just up here flying high. I'm doing my own thing. I'm happy. I'm worried about me only. I'm not worried about what I think these people are thinking about me on the ground.
There's also like a level of selfishness, and there's a level of infectious ideology that comes from that. But it's okay to be selfish to an extent. I know we said it's like, but what we mean by that, and when we say that, is it's more important to think about yourself and what's best for you. And like, people understand, in the right people who are in your stream will understand that you're a human being. So if you're in a funk and you have to take a break, you're going to take a break, and they will come back. I mean, like, it's also the same thing that happens. Like, it's Call of Duty creator. One of the things that I deal with is people come into my chat and they're like, "Can I play?" Immediately. They don't even know. They immediately come in, and that's the first thing I hear. So it's not that I'm being an asshole when I just say, no, I don't play with random followers. One of my favorite streamers, No Jugs Jenna, does this perfect in a way that she handles it. And she's like, I need to catch your vibe first. And like, and I need to see how you're going to interact, and before I just straight up say, you know what, we're going to play. Because if you're coming onto my stream as a random Call of Duty player, and like you turn around and you start yelling at everybody and say the N-word at everybody, then you're doing that on my stream in my Discord, and I'm never going to play with you again. And 2, like, I've never really met you. And 3, it's like,
I just let you into my house and you trashed it. Like, I'm not going to let strangers into my house.
Yeah, and you can't let strangers come into your house. But that's like from a COD perspective, and it goes the same way from a collab perspective too. Like, let's say you and I do a collab, and all I do is just start being boring. and I'm just sitting here staring at the wall, and then I smile occasionally, and then like, what's that going to put you in the position of? You're going to try and make it goofy and have fun, and I'm just going to sit here staring at a wall like, person.
Yeah. Then I just feel all of this pressure to pick up your slack.
Exactly.
To pick up where you're leaving off. I get what you're saying. Like, definitely, if someone's
the vibe has to be there.
Yeah, I like that. What I started doing, so that would happen to me a lot, is people, can we play? Can I play with you? Can I play with you? My sweet mods, when I first started, one guy made me a command that's just said, Samantha's not playing with viewers right now. Like, just in the nicest way, because I couldn't tell people no. I couldn't be mean. But now I'm like, dude, you don't even follow me. Why would I play with you? You just got here. I don't even know you.
Well, even before I asked you to play, I was following you for almost a year.
Yeah. But, that's a little different. Like, I would, people I interact with on, a regular basis, and, through social media and things like that, like, that's totally different than just a random person coming in. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you have to know someone first.
And like, I've gotten burnt so many different times in so many different ways. So I have like trust issues. So I don't just play with like random people. Like, it took me a while to like hang out with like B-Town and like Fear on a regular basis and just play with them. And like, once I did, and once I kind of let my guard down and finally got to know them, and it's fun. We play all the time. We do our thing and we have fun. But like, when it comes to like asking to collab in a content creator space, you have to be able to match that person's energy. Like, if we do a collab at any point, I know I'll be able to match your energy. I know I'll be able to outmatch your energy too. But in the best possible way,
Yeah.
I mean, not right now, obviously, because I'm feeling like weird and I'm still in my funk, but
we're fine. I mean, I think I get what you mean though. Like, you have to be able to go in there knowing I can't just stare at the wall. Like,
exactly.
I gotta be able to contribute somehow. And what am I bringing forward? What are you
bringing to the table?
What am I bringing to the table? What do I want to put out there? That, ultimately, like, will benefit me. Again, like, being talking about being selfish and stuff, and like that is like a selfish thought too. But how can I help this person? And then eventually, like, that good will come back to me too.
Of course. Because everything that you put out there will eventually be returned in every way, shape, or form. If you put out negative energy, you're going to get negative energy in return. If you put out positive energy, you're going to get positive energy in return. Like, and I'm a huge advocate of like philosophy and like the give and take relationship type stuff. And I read a ton of books on stuff like that. And it just, navigating inside of the content creation space is so interesting because there's so many different mentalities. There's so many different like ways people see things, and every interaction that you have on social media, just understand that it's a matter of perspective. Even those trolls that say you suck at COD, well, they play the game longer than you. They see that your aim assist is lacking in certain ways. You're not aim assist. Like, they see that your aim is lacking in certain ways. And like, there's things that they see that you don't see, and they're just very blunt about it. So just say thank you for the information. I'll try to get better, or something like that. Instead of being like, you're a piece of garbage.
Yes. Yeah. And that's an interesting line you kind of have to walk. Sorry, I don't know if I'm totally derailing this, but
no, you're good. You're good.
As a content creator, you have to have a small group of people that you trust their opinion. These people have to be able to tell you things you don't like to hear.
Yep.
And when you surround yourself with people who only are telling you you're doing great, or things like that, they're kind of just blowing smoke up your butt. Like
They're also doing you a disservice.
They're doing you a disservice, and that's okay because again, they're not part of that like really small circle that you have of people that you trust. And yeah, I see that quite a bit. And there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, I hope someone tells that person the way it actually is, not all the comments that are just like gassing them up for the wrong reason, things like that. And like like you have to be able to take that criticism, but you also have to be able to take it from, again, you have to know who you have to take it from, who you get to listen to, whose opinion really matters. So like, yeah, the trolls that come in and like say the mean things and stuff like that, like saying, they'll call me fat, for example, like,
and you're not.
Well, that's okay. That's okay that they think that. But if I really cared about what they thought, or if I thought that that was true, I would ask someone in my inner circle, hey, did that, like, I'm maybe not looking my best, or, something like that. And I would trust someone then to tell me, like, yeah, like, you maybe don't look as healthy as you once did, something like that. But now taking trolls that just tell me I'm fat all day long, and like, if I really took that to heart, like, that would be so draining. That would be so draining. So I'm going to wait for someone in my inner circle to be like, hey, are you feeling okay? Because, you're maybe not like eating the best, or like putting the best things in your body that you could. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with.
And those are the people that I've been starting to like kind of like have inside of my circle. Like I've have people who will come up to me and they're like, hey man, I'm just checking in, and I hope you're doing okay. I know I've been seeing you're going through a lot. Like for example, there are people throughout like this week alone, like they saw me disappear on social media for 3 days straight. Like I didn't post anything on TikTok, anything on YouTube for over a week and a half. And then people message me, they're like, hey, you doing okay? Everything good? And then I respond with, no, I'm not. But I'm not going to publicize it and make a tweet. I mean, some people do, and they can. And I did have to publicize something in a negative light towards myself at an earlier time. But this is something that like I know that I can handle and I can get out of it. And like I mean, I even turned to you for a conversation. Like you and I talked about it. Like we had a 30-minute Discord call about it, and your advice was extremely appreciative. And like the people in your inner circle, they will tell you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear.
What you want to hear. Yep.
And the people that only tell you what you want to hear, that's, I don't want to say concern is the wrong word, but you gotta like pay attention to it in like a bigger light. Like,
yeah,
when you focus on your own content, your analytics will speak for you in certain ways. There's ways that you can properly identify those analytics to know, hey, like this content didn't do so well. So like what can I do to make it better? Like for example, like my post today, I knew it wasn't going to do well. It didn't do well. But the only reason why I posted it is because I wanted people to still know, hey, I'm here. And I put literally 15 minutes of effort into something that I normally put 6.5 hours into, if that makes sense. So, but like understanding that and like understanding like how you're going to try to better yourself is so important in the content space.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I also think that there are times when, well, number one, backing up, I people may not like this about me, but I will always be the friend to tell you how it is, how I see it. I'm going to tell you how I see it, because how you see it, being in your own shoes, in your own, seeing through your own glasses, like you see things differently than my outside perspective.
Yep.
And that's something I've like tried to get a little bit better with as I've gotten older, is being a little bit nicer about how I deliver that information. I mean, it's called Radical Candor. It's a really good book if you want to look that up.
I have heard of that. I have not read it.
So it talks about you're a bad friend if you're talking to someone and they have food in their teeth and they're about to go present in front of a big group of people and you don't tell them that they have food in their teeth, you're a bad friend. If you don't tell them they have food in their teeth because you don't know how to tell them, you're kind of a bad friend. So you have to find this balance of how do I but then if you say, hey, you got food in your teeth, like, I can't believe you're gonna go talk, you're a bad friend. You have to find this balance of being kind and delivering that information in a way to benefit the person and not put their guard up.
Of course.
So that's something I've really tried to practice as I've getting older in my life and things like that.
I'm just blunt. I'm gonna say it as I see it, and like my friends know that I'm blunt every single day in regards to my streams. Like, if I see something wrong, I'm gonna say something wrong. If I see somebody doing something dumb in the mind of COD, I'm gonna tell them, hey, you're doing something dumb. Why don't you try doing it this way? And like, one of the things that I have to be careful with, being as blunt as I am, is the fact of unsolicited advice. So you have to learn to understand and read the room to know when that advice is needed. Like, I'm not just gonna come to, this is not a real situation by any means, but this is just an example. I'm not gonna come to Samantha and say, your fish is green and that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say, well, I mean, I'm gonna wait for the time to say, like, when it makes sense to say, so if you change this color in your background, it's going to make your stream look so much better.
Yes.
And that right there, the delivery, the aspect, the timing is going to resonate a lot more.
Yep.
Like, when you and I talked, and I told you I was dealing with the fact that I think COD is terrible and I don't like COD anymore.
Yeah.
We know that's not fully true, but the game does suck right now and the servers are awful, and I refuse to play on 220 milliseconds worth of latency on a game right now. But you're like, well, why don't you try to play something different? And I'm like, well, let's think about what I can play that's different. I used to love Grand Theft Auto. I used to play Grand Theft Auto for hours and days and months and years. I used to play Grand Theft Auto to the point where I had an online account where I owned everything in the game, where I used to know every duplication glitch to ever exist, where I used to like farm cars in an online method and get money and buy everything in a game. But I haven't played I haven't played GTA because my PS4 sounds like an airplane. And I switched to a PC.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, really quick. I just have to interject. So we are on the front page. I just
let's go.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know. Hi guys, welcome in. My name is SamanthaPlz. I am doing a podcast today with Percussive. So if you guys want to go stop by Percussive stream, I'm gonna give him a quick shout out here. But we are just talking about content creation and infectious energy and how to be kind of the best version of yourself as a content creator. Thank you everybody for coming by, for being here. Again, here, I don't know if I have any mods here. Sorry.
You're good. No, you're totally fine. And that type of stuff happens too. It's like, you can have as many mods as you can. And as many mods on your team, and like sometimes there's times where everybody's busy, and there's nothing wrong with that. And like, there's so many different avenues as a content creator where you have to be on your feet and learn how to fly and like learn how to cover certain things. Like, for example, me going off on that tangent allowed you to do what you needed to do, and it helped you because we're doing a collab type deal.
Yeah.
So it allowed you to do the stuff that you needed to do, so you didn't feel pressured. You know, little stuff like that goes a long way. And it also keeps the positive energy that you have on a day-to-day basis.
I agree. And kind of just being able to work on the fly and again, like, none of it matters. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. And
yes, it is.
When I started my professional career, I had a defining moment where I messed up, and I thought I had messed up royally, and the lady I was talking to, the lady that was training me, she said, "Oh, you're fine. You can't fuck this shit up." And she was right. She was right. In that, like, in that sense, I've applied that to almost every aspect of my life outside of work. You can't fuck this shit up. There's always going to be a fix. There's always going to be a solution. And you're going to get past it no matter what. Like, that's how life and time works.
Exactly.
It'll pass. So do it. Like, go for it. Be weird. Be goofy. Like, follow the wrong people, follow the right people, learn. It's all a learning experience. You can't fuck this shit up.
It's online, and you're your online self. But one thing, don't forget, they're all real people. So,
yep,
but
they are all yes.
So everybody here is a real person, besides for the viewbots that aren't in either of our streams. But but those were created by real people.
Yeah.
But all right, anyways, tangent aside, like that type of relaxing mentality that you have right there, about like you can't mess this things up. It allows you to have that positive energy. It allows you to have to be able to navigate the ups and downs. So what other things do you have that will be able to allow your positivity to shine as a content creator throughout the ups and downs of content creation? That's a loaded question.
Yeah, that is a loaded question. I going back to, I think it's okay that if there are lulls, I think that's okay that if there are like downtimes and like times that you're maybe not feeling your like highest energy self, but you're I want to go and I want to hang out. I'm not going to be bouncing off the walls today, but I want to be around people and I want to be able to interact with people. And that's okay too. Like that's totally okay. You don't always have to be this feeling like wonderful, awesome. I'm amazed. Like I feel amazing right now. You will hardly ever feel like that. You will feel like that maybe one day a week, or one day a month. Like that is not enough time. That doesn't give you the opportunity. So pushing through a lot of times those moments where you feel like I'm not good enough, I don't have the energy. It does help you grow. And like being uncomfortable, you're not going to grow unless you're uncomfortable.
And you're the only person who can tell yourself that you're not good enough. Remember that. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, because positivity is completely subjective. And the reason why I say that is because my whole content space is about spreading positivity. It's but positivity is subjective based on what you think is positive. What I think is spreading positivity isn't the same way you would spread positivity. Yes. And like, you're the only person who can tell yourself that. Like, you're the only person who can say, hey, yo, this is where I'm messing up. And this is what I need to do to improve. And you can take constructive criticism and you can apply it to yourself. But people forget that when you have those types of interpersonal conversations, that you have to be the one to apply it to yourself using your own mind. And that also allows for things to be skewed, but it's your own journey.
Yeah.
So never forget that.
Yes, exactly. And there is also something that I want to touch on.
Sure.
With positivity that can actually be very toxic.
Yes. Absolutely can.
That's what I mean, toxic positivity. And that's thinking that if I only think good things, then only good things are going to happen. That's not life. Like that's not realistic. What thinking good things and like, trying to be positive, putting a positive foot forward does for you is it helps you see the positive things in life when things are negative. So that it's okay. It's okay to feel emotions other than happy and positive all the time and energetic. You have to be able to feel all of those emotions and use that to then create something good. Like if I constantly just like pushed out and like was like, I gotta be happy all the time. Like, I'm never gonna be sad. All that sad's just gonna hit me like a ton of bricks one day. And like that's not healthy. It's not
It
healthy.
causes
So,
burnout very quickly.
yeah.
And that's why somebody like me who does have a lot of stuff going on in their personal life, it led me to, like, after I went to Philadelphia, after I went to the wedding, I couldn't stream for a week because I didn't want to spread negativity because I'm being positive all the time, and I can't constantly just try to push positivity during that point. So, like, you're 100% right. Positivity can definitely be toxic, and there's definitely a huge thing about toxic positivity. And I think when Amaze was on the podcast back in episode 4, he said it best. Amaze said that in order to be truly positive, you have to understand how to say it or how to say specific things.
Yep.
And that was one of the most cool things to actually hear from someone, because not everything is positive. Not everyone is truly positive. It's a difficult bridge to walk.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. And how you deliver that message is really important too. Especially when you have a platform and you're you're talking to people, and you whether you like it or not, like, people might be looking up to you or looking at you. They're looking at you.
Of course.
So how you deliver messages like that is super important.
So,
And that's what I really appreciate about Amaze too, is his content is not all just, we're gonna have the best day, oh my god. Like,
yep.
he'll be like, hey guys, like, if you're feeling down, like, that's okay, like, just keep going, kind of thing. Like, I appreciate about, like, that it's realistic positivity.
And that's what, when we talk about, as streamers, when we talk about spreading positivity, it's being realistic. That's the message that people miss. You have to be realistic with yourself and realistic with the people that you're working with, to be able to spread, like, to be positive. Like, turning around and just saying, oh, this is great, this is awesome. Don't be a yes man. Fuck that. Don't be a yes man or a yes woman. Be yourself. It's okay to get mad at things. It's okay to get upset at things. Like, shoot, I die in COD and I yell at the screen for 2 minutes, and then I turn around and laugh because I yelled at the screen for 2 minutes. Yeah. So you gotta learn, like, the line between, like, that type of stuff. It's okay to feel emotions, and people are gonna love you more for the emotions that you feel. It's kind of like a weird relationship. It's almost like everything is a parasocial relationship. Oh god, I hate that, but it's true. Because parasocial relationships define the streaming community, and it's so weird.
Yeah. Yes. I do agree with that. It is a little different there.
Definitely is. So, what challenges have you faced in regards to criticism in regards to promoting positivity? So, is there anybody that you had in your community who's been ridiculously critical of you, and how do you challenge that?
So, a little bit different, a little bit of criticism, I guess, something different. I think that there is a time and there is a place with to emotionally dump on people, to trauma dump. So when I first started streaming, I care about people. I do. I want to connect with people. I like
You're
getting
genuine.
to know people. Thank you. And with that, though, it brought a large subset of people who felt like they could come and just, like, tell me the most, like, horrible things about their lives in my chat. And I'm like, hi, how are you? And they're like, and it would be like multiple people that would just come and, like, dump and dump and dump. And I would be like, I want to help you. Like, I want you to feel better.
But the live's not the place for that either.
The stream is not the place for that, because there are other people here who are, they care about you too, but, like, we want to have fun. So when I first started, that was something I really struggled with, was setting that line for people, and like defining that. So what I do now is, instead of, when people tell me they're having like a really bad day and stuff, instead of like really digging into that, I'll say, I'll say something along the lines of like, thank you. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I really hope that we can make you feel better here today. And thanks for talking about it. If you want, the community's here if you would like to talk after. I'm sure, there's folks that want to help you through this, but like, let's focus on having a good time right now.
Of course.
And that really helped quite a bit. um Instead of just me asking everybody when they tell me they have a bad day, I'm like, why, what's wrong, tell me. And like and then they actually tell me, and I'm like, oh god damn it. Ugh.
It's it's a killjoy. It's a killjoy because it's not necessarily like they're intending to bring negativity. They're trying to talk with you about
Right.
it. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, one of the things that I do, when people tell me like, oh, so I have the mental health hotline and suicide hotline always there and available on like a timer, and it normally like works out and it pops through whenever somebody does try to trauma dump. And like, it's unfortunate that sometimes people have situations going on, and I love them to death and I wish them the world, and I really hope that they're able to figure it out. We're streamers. We're not necessarily your therapist. We're not your therapist. And there are definitely people that you can talk to be able to allow us to still be able to try to entertain you. And I love what you said about trying to allow them a place to forget about their troubles at the time.
Yep.
It's huge. And that's what I try to focus on too.
Yeah, I want to be that place where you can come and you can feel better and like you can have fun, or even like I can take your mind off of it for a little bit.
And that's our goal. That definitely is our goal, subconsciously.
But I also don't want to negate from the fact that these, like, you guys are folks in chat, like, you guys are real people with real problems and real emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. And like, sometimes if you're really like tight with a community, like I for example, I know someone who they had a community member come in and they were like, my dad had just died or something. And instead of, in that moment, you're not going to be like, oh, I hope I can make you feel better here today. Like,
Mm-hmm.
That's in that, like, that's when you got to kind of like rally around. You got a little group of people that let's try to lift this person up and like make them feel better. And if they want to talk about that, like, we can, but yeah, so there is a line, and it's a very fine, like, weird line.
I'm gonna throw the devil's advocate side of this because I witnessed and watched in I'm not gonna name the streamers community. Somebody came into their community and started saying that one of their close family members passed, and then later found out a week later that it was a lie to get the attention of the streamer. So
Yes, that is the other thing that I wanted to touch on. When I
Mhm.
started that, I realized that there were trolls out there who actually trolled and like got off on that.
Yes,
Of like,
it's awful.
yeah, yeah, like, yeah. I don't want to get. I don't know if I want to get too much into it, but
We don't
I
have to
gotta,
touch
like,
on it. That's just something I was gonna say. Like, there's different sides, and unfortunately, in an online community, in an online platform, you never know if someone's actually telling the truth.
You never know. And then I guess I'll just get into it. I had someone who really played on my community's emotions one time, and by saying that their mom was in the hospital and like all these like really bad things, and we're all freaking worried. Like, that's one of those times where you're like, oh, I hope I can make you feel better. It's not. It's like, we're here for you, man. Like, let's get through this kind of thing. And then their mom got out of the hospital and made an account and had never used Twitch before, but made an account and was like talking to us and like then just like talking the other member of the community, that her son,
Oh,
I then realized that this is just one person. This is one person who is playing on the emotions of my community and myself for their enjoyment. Like, there's something wrong there. So we're, like we were all so excited when he was like, my mom's getting out of the hospital. Like when she joined, we like gifted her subs and like, we were so excited. And then like, yeah, to just find out we kind of like we'd been played like that kind of
it's
stuff.
scary. Like,
Yeah.
it is very, very scary because like there's a lot of things that people can do in an online setting that are very concerning, and it's so hard to decipher in the moment on what is that, which is why we focus on ourselves as streamers as much as we possibly can. And that's also why I defer on when we get those types of comments.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
I defer to the game.
Huh. What do you mean by that?
So I mean, like, for example, I'm sorry that you're going through this. It's really rough, and like it's concerning that some of that stuff is going on. But you know what? I hope that my gameplay in Call of Duty is going to make you smile because we're going to have some fun here.
Yeah.
I defer to the game.
Yeah.
Like I hope that my goofiness is gonna bring smiles and bring good vibes and change your mentality, because like you said, you never know who is gonna be what, and that's why like I kind of focus on the real friendships and real conversations as I see them, and it's kind of like trust is kind of built like a house that's made out of logs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the moment that you find a rotted log, the whole foundation of the cabin is going to fall down. So that's an analogy that my therapist taught me.
Yeah, no, and that's a good analogy. And that probably the people that are really important in your community and your life, they're not going to come and dump that shit on you in stream. Like if they're really having a bad time, like you're going to notice and you're going to reach out to them, or they're going to come to you and like, in a private setting.
Exactly. Like I did, like even when I was going through like whatever mental health stuff I did, I didn't tell you exactly what mental health I went through. I just told you, you know what, I'm going through a rough time and I'm feeling burnt out. And burnout is part of the industry. It's part of the streaming space because it happens. But I don't think we're gonna have time to actually touch on the burnout portion. But just looking at the clock. But there's just a whole like, if someone is actually going through something, 90% of the time it's gonna we'll say something along the lines, because we respect the streamer in their privacy, of I'm not doing well, but it's okay, but I'm here and I hope you're doing great.
Yeah. I'm here to have fun. I'm here for a good time. Like
I'm here to have fun. I'm here because to make you smile and still be here as like streamer to another streamer.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to just trauma dump in the middle of chat. We know better. Like, we're also not going to trauma dump to you in DMs. So
yes, I mean it depends on the person and it depends on your relationship, but that again, that comes back to that parasocial relationship that we keep coming. That's a very common word nowadays.
It's unfortunately and also fortunately the way that the streaming lifestyle is. Parasocial relationships are what cause gifts to occur. Parasocial relationships are what cause donations to occur. It also it's very weird to think about in the aspect of a psychological perspective between the streamer and viewer relationship, and it's interesting, but it's also something that you don't want to spend too much time on, or you're just going to be like, oh no.
yeah
So
right there, when I first started streaming, I guess I wasn't first started. I was probably about 8 months in, and I mentioned something one time in my stream about, I said, like, I get sad at night. Someone was like, what do you get sad about at night, Sam? And I told them. I said, I told them. And I remember nobody said anything. They continued, they just brushed over what I said and like kept talking in chat. And I remember ending my stream and messaging my mod and was like, these people don't care about me. Like, no, how do these people not care about me? And I care about them so much. Nobody cares like that. Nobody even said it. And I remember I said that in my stream too. I remember I was like, you guys, I just told you like why I was sad and nobody said anything. And it was just like crickets. But that again was one of those parasocial defining moments for me was as a streamer, people come to my stream for something. They're coming for, it's like going to the store. You don't go to the store just to go. I mean, unless you want to browse, but like you're going for something. You go to get something in return. And what I can deliver is good vibes, positive energy, a fun time. That's what people come to me for. And there's this exchange. And I can't expect them to care about my problems in the same way.
Of course.
Like
but that's why we promote positivity in any way that we know how, because the parasocial relationships are just going to be a defining factor of the streaming relationship, the streamer viewer relationship, because and that's why we promote positivity and kindness in online spaces, because no matter what those parasocial relationships are, we're still giving you our product, and like everybody's product is different, but I mean, we're doing that also while maintaining a business, also while maintaining an engineering platform, an audio engineering platform, video engineering platform, creativity platform. Like, there's so many jobs that are aligned into one content creation avenue, and we're doing that like even on the lines of those parasocial relationships, because people will subscribe to you because they want to subscribe to you, because they want to support you, and sometimes like we streamers, when we can, we're going to give back. But most of the time we give back the best way that we know how, which is just by being ourselves and being positive. And I mean, in my case, like I come to see Cooper. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
I just see Cooper running around in the background there, but it's adorable.
Yeah. Thank you. Side note on them, they're bugging me because it's time for dinner. But
so
yeah, you nailed it there. Yep.
So what I want to do at this point, because we're kind of nearing like an hour and a half on the podcast, I kind of want to open it up to if any viewers that are in either your chat or my chat have any questions they want to ask, like something that they want to ask us about enthusiasm and infectious enthusiasm in content, or like positivity in content, because one of the things that we do constantly, especially when in your stream and my stream, is we try to promote positivity any way we know how. And the whole goal of the PSP podcast is to promote positivity in the ways of educating you of people who have been in this space for an extended period of time. That's the main goal. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. With all 50 of you guys on Twitter, I will see the chat if you do it. So
yeah. Questions are open, guys. If you have questions around content creation and positivity, content creation in general, happy to answer any of those. No, not really an expert by any means, but we've been through it. I've been doing it for 2 years, doing it, and that's the other thing is people say, when I setting those goals for myself, I really wanted to be a full-time content creator last year. I do create content full time. I do this 80 to 90 hours a week. That's every 2 months or every 2 weeks. Like that's a full-time job too. So I mean, technically in a way I did meet my goal, and like I'm going to celebrate that. That's what
you did and you have.
I mean, I there are other variables in this goal that I'm still working and things like that, but yeah, it's like, yeah, you I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to perform and be positive, and that it just all of that leaves. So
So I do have a
Let that
question.
shit go. Okay.
So Trey asked, it's a lot of positive podcasts, but what separate y'all apart from them? So what separates us from other people in regards to positivity? So I'll take a stab at this. What separates Perk from any other streamer? Perk is the type of guy who is just genuine and just wants to make you smile and wants to make you laugh. And I'm a COD player. I'm gonna play COD in an extremely goofy way. I'm gonna play I'm gonna play video games in a manner that's just gonna be funny and just be there. No one can be me. No one can be in my mind. No one can have. Well, we technically are the same as others, but at the same point, we're also extremely unique in the fact that there is no way that anybody has the ability to be me.
Mm-hmm.
And not only can they not be me, they can't make the same jokes that I have in the same manner of which I have, and they also can't be confident in their style in the manner of which I have. So it's something that you can only see to actually experience. It's my jokes are going to be completely different than the way somebody else is going to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And going back to kind of what we talked about earlier, that radical candor.
Yep.
I think is what sets me apart is if things suck, I'm not gonna just blow smoke up your butt and tell you that it's all daisies and it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like there's ebbs and flows, and
Yes, there is.
and I think that's what makes my positivity is unique is that I'm able to embrace that and then also help others kind of turn and have that look instead. We can still be realistic and we can still be positive and we can still live happy lives.
Exactly. And being ourselves, being who we are, and being our genuine selves and authentic selves is what separates us from everybody else.
Yep. So I got a question.
Sure.
Dragonborn39 says, how do you grind it though? You have like one viewer for months. It's not so positive for a lot of streamers. How did you stay positive and wanting to keep the grind?
So it goes back to why I wanted to stream. I stream because I love making content and I love making fun content, goofy shorts, goofy things. And people like me because of my shorts. I'm sitting here with a small set of viewers, but that's a lot to me. Even having 12 people in my chat and 51 people on Twitter and 6 people in the Twitch chat and 4 people in the YouTube chat, that's a lot for me. But everybody's goals and what they think and what they want is different. My goal is not to have a whole lot of people. My goal is to play video games and make as much fun content as I can from those video games in an effort to make people smile.
So I think you really touched on what I wanted to say there is your goals. Your goals are what define your content and your stream. So if your goal is to have as many viewers as possible,
you got to make content.
It's not going to be positive. It's not going to be a positive experience because you're constantly going to be looking at that number, that one viewer that you've got, and you're like, why am I not hitting this goal? Like, this sucks. Well, your one viewer can see that, and so does everybody else that passes by your stream. So really kind of adjusting your goals and your outlook on what you want, where you want those goals to take you is going to change that positivity. So
absolutely,
like we talked about earlier, instead of going live and like wanting to, I'm gonna post this video because I hope it blows up. I'm gonna post this video because I think it's kind of funny and maybe someone else will too, or there's just these little things around that that take a lot of the pressure of growing off of you. So sorry, Dragonborn, I hope that answered your question in an okay way. I kind of rambled a little bit, but yeah.
But in what you touched on is really important, is like For me, like staying positive and grinding even with 0 viewers, it doesn't necessarily bother me because and I'm a little different. And like Sam touched on it perfect, is it's about your goals. Like my goal isn't to have as many viewers in my chat at one time. My goal is to interact, and my goal is to have an active chat. I want my chat to have fun as I'm playing video games. Like if I do something funny, I want them to comment on that, and then we can talk about it. Like for example, one of my favorite, like most memorable moments is a very 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 simple Warzone moment. I sniped somebody and I downed him and I went over and I said, "So what do you think happened?" And he got extremely mad. The guy, like in proc chat, he got so mad. He started saying, like, "You're just a terrible person, blah, blah, blah. Why would you ask that? Why would you do that? Just finish me. Just do this. You're awful. You're rude." And I'm like, "Just finish you. Oh, I'll finish you." And the chat just blew up. And they're like, "Oh, you'll finish him all right." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll finish him all night."
So that's like striving for the goals, like that, things like that. That's awesome. But
yes,
if you don't have any viewers, you're focused on, I'm gonna make content. Like
yes.
I'm making content that I can post later.
If they don't see it, then I'm gonna post it, and then people will see it, and then people will be like, "Oh my god, this dude's hilarious." And then they'll come, and then they'll come into my chat, and then something else will happen, and it'll be hilarious.
Yeah. So adjusting your goals accordingly to, I would like to have a really active chat. Well, I don't have any viewers.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm going to play a game. Like I'm going to record this content. I'm going to focus on making good content from this stream, posting that elsewhere. And then that, like, it snowballs. That's how you bring people in.
Even my video today, my video today is I sniped somebody and it was nasty. It was, I peeked in one spot, hit a shot, cracked plates, went to another spot, hit him again within the confine of 3 seconds, downed him, and then he was my bounty, and it was proc chat, so I walked over to him, and he's like, "Why do you got to do me like that? Why do you got to shit on me like that?" And I'm like, "It's all right. I'm not going to kill you. I know you're my bounty, blah, 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 blah." But it was just funny.
Yeah. 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 And so, yeah, adjusting your vision, adjusting your goals will just make you a happier person in the long run. And again, like that can apply to so many areas of your life.
100%.
Not just streaming, not just content creation. Like, yeah, you got to be flexible. You got to go with the flow.
And it's so huge. It's so important.
Yeah.
And like, you can have a ton of numbers of people in your chat, and sometimes people won't even talk. It's about the type of content that you're doing that makes people want to communicate. If you want to have an active chat, you're going to be asking people about their day. Like you're going to be actually conversing with your chat. But if your goal is to have the viewers, you're just going to the way you deliver is going to be different.
This is like advice for someone who just is like streaming. If you're not streaming to anybody, keep talking. Keep talking. I learned
professional yappers.
Yeah. I learned I would just start talking about myself. Or like if someone would ask, they'd be like, do you like this thing? And then I'd be like, yeah, I like this, but I also like that. And like, you just keep talking, even when nobody's there. You talk about what's going on in the game. What are
you going to do next?
Anything and everything.
What are you going to do next? Like, how are you going to interact? Like, I keep going back to COD because that's my main game, but like, annotate what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you want to do, and like, do it in a way that's only uniquely to you, and maybe something funny will happen. Luckily, COD added prox chat, so we can utilize that. But
definitely. Okay, Dragonborn wants to know, how do we feel about the KCIP, the Kick Creator Incentive Program? This is a little off topic for us, but
I don't know enough about it to give a proper opinion, because that's not my goal. I'm not going to be reaching that point anytime soon. So my goal is solely on content. But for the people who have reached it, I've heard that it's life-changing as long as you are genuine, authentic in yourself, and you are streaming to people who genuinely want to watch you, because it's not about the amount of hours that you stream, it's about the amount of hours that you stream to active people. And it could be extremely useful. It could be extremely useful to the people who are streamers and who are genuine.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. And again, coming back to you said this, I'm not going to hit that anytime soon. So why would I like focus all of my time and energy on that? That's going to be negative. Like we know realistically, like same for me. I know I'm not going to hit that, but I'm going to let it come. So I'm going to let it come naturally. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not even ever going to work for it, but I'm going to let something like that come naturally. And when it happens, it happens. But yes, setting, Valkyrie just said this, short versus long-term goals.
How about smart goals?
Realistic goals.
Realistic, attainable, and time-sensitive goals.
Yeah.
Trey, the reason why I timed you out, and I will be editing this out of the podcast, is because you were being sexist in your comment, and I don't appreciate stuff like that. That's not a freedom of speech aspect. That's an extremely sexist piece, and that's why I timed you out. But thank you.
Okay, Whacker wants to know, if you guys had a superpower as a streamer, what would it be?
You said if I had a superpower as a streamer.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I can't. I don't even know enough about superpowers. Honestly, I would probably make it crackhead energy because it'd be funny. My superpower would be crackhead energy because it would be funny and it would make people laugh.
Yeah. If I had a superpower as a streamer, what would it be?
I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, probably like charisma, crackhead energy, troubleshooting god. Yes.
Boom.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like just having also having the ability to let the mean things roll off of you. I think that's a superpower. Letting the hate and the negativity rolling, just let it roll off your back. Doesn't matter. I think that's a superpower some people probably would like to have. And I think that I do okay with that. But yeah, if I had to pick one, if I had to do anything, it would be the crackhead energy.
So the reason why I say the crackhead energy is a superpower as a streamer is because I play Call of Duty, and having that amount of energy and like being able to see things just a little bit quicker would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I drink coffee a lot before I play Call of Duty. Or the superpower of being able to have perfect internet. I'm sorry, but like a low latency, like, come on, man. Like it's 2024 and you're $1 billion company. We shouldn't have 226-second lobby. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Jokes aside, but
no, and that's actually something. It's really weird. I play Call of Duty now, and I play for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like three games in, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm beat. This shit's exhausting. Like, I don't know how I used to do. Like, I don't know how I used to sit and play COD for hours and hours and hours and hours.
It's only fun if you're playing it with the right people.
God, even then, I'm like, oh my, this is a lot. It's a lot. So, hats off, props to you guys that are able to play a really intense game and still maintain that energy.
Of course. And it's huge.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is shit, I just lost my train of thought.
You want to know what's really funny? And I kind of want to bring up this parasocial relationship portion again. I
Yeah.
just banned somebody for being very honest with about what was going on because they continued, correct? And they went through the time to create another account and to come into my stream just to call me a fat ass. That I don't in that type of stuff. I just use the tools at hand. I just ban.
Yeah.
So parasocial relationships. You said you already had this account. That's fine, and you made a third account. That's crazy. But yeah. Anyways. Also, I don't know if you're still there, but it looks like your Discord froze.
Oh no, I'm still here. I'm just looking. I'm just reading. I'm just making that face.
Oh, the third. Oh, the
Uh,
third account. Oh, because I just keep banning them. I'll.
wow.
It just makes me laugh. It's like that type of stuff doesn't necessarily bother me. It's if
That
they. It is what it is.
that is it's honestly in those moments I feel sad. Like I feel sad for those people. Because look at all the energy they're devoting to bringing you down and like
Mm-hmm.
bringing all of this like you're just like living in their head like rent free and they're pissed. Like that's sad. Uh and yeah, I just feel bad. I just feel bad for you if you have to like say those things to people to hurt their like to make yourself feel better. That's sad. And
It is.
that's what that so having compassion, still being compassionate to those people is really important, like because yeah, at the end of the day, like you're going through it probably a lot more than me if you're saying these mean things to people.
And
You
like
you got more going on.
I kind of feel upset. It's like there's no reason at this point in time like to just like try to spread negativity like that. You're not doing anything. You're really just kind of showing your mental issues to everybody, and you're right. It is sad. It is very sad, and like I wish you the best. I wish you the best in recovery, and I hope that like everything works out for you and whatever you're going through. I wish you the best, but like there's no point to continue creating accounts just to try to get into my stream just to call me a fat ass. I mean, that's okay. I'm working on it.
Well, that's sad for this person. Like you're wasting so much time and energy when you could be out there. I'm sorry, like maybe this is rude, but you could be working to be way better than percussive right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could be doing something that like would really show percussive up someday. But instead you're creating accounts to just call him names. Like go devote that energy somewhere else. You will be so much happier. And yeah, again, I'm so sad for whoever, you're going through it, buddy.
It's okay.
God bless you. God bless you. We love you. Hope you find help and therapy and love in your life.
It's totally okay. And like that type of stuff,
Yeah.
like that doesn't upset me. Like
Yeah.
here, this is what happened.
Again, you just have to the mental health with these randos are truly sad. Yeah. And that's part of the reason that we do what we do is because we realize like people have fucking problems. Like this life kind of sucks. Like shit's hard sometimes. So
It's very difficult.
How can we make people feel better and spread that positivity?
And that's the whole point. It's like being able to spread positivity in a manner that allows people to be able to better themselves and also be able to be the best people that they can be. And that's one of the reasons why this podcast exists. It's why I created it. So I created it to be able to educate newer creators to be able who want to take the step to become better creators. And that's my goal. Oh, so you're going to create yet another account. GG's, homie. I wish you luck.
Yeah. Seriously, like, yeah.
But
bye, buddy. I hope you find. We always say that.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Because truly, that is fatherless behavior. Like, come on. You were not loved as a child, were you? Like, that's exactly it. Like, go to therapy. I hope you're able to heal your inner child someday. I hope you
I'm
heal
not
that
even
from
gonna. I'm
yourself.
not even gonna ban him this time. I'm just gonna let him talk because it's he's letting something off of his chest or her chest. So
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah, you just or that's when you use your streamer tools and you put it on subscriber only mode.
Yeah, but
If
it's
you're gonna
it's
talk
not.
shit, you gotta pay.
It's also not even worth it. It's not even worth it to put it on streamer mode. There's something that this person is going through, and he has some type of stuff that they want to go through. So they can communicate, they can do whatever they need to do, but
Yeah.
it's not going to matter. Like if they really want to make a third, fourth, and sometimes even fifth account, that's their ultimatum. That's their motivation. Like,
Yep.
it's getting me into feelings? Not at all. Like we're talking about it because it kind of rolled into the idea of the podcast, and I do appreciate you submitting content and giving me a view on my stream. It means a lot.
Yeah, for real. Thank you for the content. Thank you for the talking points. And yeah, hopefully again we can help someone else here. So yeah. The extra view also, yeah. And the interaction on your content. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. How many followers did you just get from that? 5 new followers? Fuck yeah.
Oh, I don't even he's not even following me, and it's fine. I don't need to follow. It's to me like
yeah, but same thing. Like,
because my goal here is as a content creator is not about the follows. It doesn't matter to me whether or not people follow me. It's not about that. I like an interactive chat. I like being able to I could be a troll just as much as they're being a troll. And I can do it way better and way more from an intellectual perspective because I did go to college and I do know how to say things in a very intelligent manner.
Yeah.
But
and yeah, again, at the end of the day, like we're doing this for fun. We're doing this because we're spending like our time and our energy because we want to.
Of course.
So yeah.
But is there any questions or comments that you want to end on an ending note?
Gosh, I don't know. Yes, I mean, just be kind to yourself. Be so nice to yourself because nobody else is going to be nice to you. If you, I mean,
you're my friend
the
now.
world's a mean
We're
place.
having soft tacos later.
Person, like, be nice to yourself. Say nice, talk nicely. Give yourself grace. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to not always feel positive. It's okay to not always feel like creating content or, and it's okay that you go through phases, ebbs and flows. I guess I just want to end with, you can't fuck this shit up.
One thing that I want to end with, and I agree with you 100%, you can't fuck this up. One thing that I want to end with is remember positivity comes from the heart. And remember, you being the best you that you can be is going to attract the correct people or even the incorrect people. But as long as you are being yourself and you are happy with yourself, you're going to move forward in a way that you can, in a manner of which you can. And it's going to assist you in embarking on attaining affiliations and partnerships in the future. Because remember, no matter how many trolls that you deal with, instead of getting upset and swearing at them and causing issues, you're able to show that positive self to everybody around you. And you're able to handle things on the fly. And remember, like if you're going into streaming, there's a level of professionalism that needs to have.
Yep.
And that level of professionalism is going to bring in the affiliations and partnerships. And yeah, and that's huge.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this was really fun. Thank you so much. It's not often that I feel like I get to kind of just sit down and like talk about this stuff. I don't know.
No, it's a blast. It's always fun.
Yeah, this was really nice. So yeah, thanks again for having me, and yeah.
No, of course. It was a pleasure to have you on. And honestly, like Samantha, as you know, like you're always welcome to message me at any point in time. You're always welcome to hang out. Like you're one of those people that like you're super genuine and you're super awesome. And like there's a reason why like I mean we met at DreamHack in person. Like we talked prior, like we've gotten to know each other. I think my first interaction with you was assisting in a tech problem, right?
Oh my God, no, yeah, you were the first person I saw at DreamHack, and I was like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know anything, and you were like, go this way, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's funny, yeah.
No, I was very as you know at DreamHack, I was going through an even worse mental situation than I was now. I wasn't able to handle myself socially, like in person. But I mean, I started getting over that like the night before I left, which was kind of funny and ironic.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That's how it goes. That's how it
Mhm.
goes. It's because you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and you realized it wasn't that big of a deal. You could do it.
of course, and it was fun, and it's always amazing to talk and hang out with you. But
Yeah.
guys, thank you so much. Liz, Samantha, love. We're gonna go ahead and end the podcast, but you guys have a wonderful night, and I appreciate you hanging out.